Good morning again. Adele here from Your Healing Path and Dare to Be Authentic. For some reason, my internet connection dropped out. So here I am again. Thank you to everyone who contributed to the thread yesterday on what comes to mind when you consider overthinking. So some really awesome responses, and I acknowledged each of the responses that came through, and those that were a bit longer I commented on this morning because there was some great stuff in there. And what I actually did this morning was put all of the responses. So I'm going to go through this on, I think, Friday, to give you some ideas on how to overcome overthinking, because this is what I started out with this morning. Right, this is how I work through things. And I'll go through that process with you on Friday. This will be another 3-part series. What we're going to focus on today is, what is it? Like, why? Why do we overthink? And it comes down to, in my speak, in the way that I look at things, a disconnection between heart, mind, body. So some of the responses that came through fall into the category of, and I've got notes on the side, fall into the category of too much movement, too much going on. Others fall into the category of no movement or minimal movement and feeling stuck, whilst others again fall into what I consider to be a disconnect state. So when we're looking at all aspects, all three of those things, what you're looking at is a disconnection between brain, which is not mind, brain, mind, body, spirit. A combination of any of those things with those three different categories. If we bring it back to everyday terms and not Adele speak, because it's a language on its own, what you're looking at when you're dealing with overthinking is basically you don't know what you want the outcome to be. So you're not clear on your why. You're not clear on why you're doing something. Yeah. So if you have a very clear why, then overthinking actually becomes sensible thinking, where you have thought processes that you can take in and discard depending on what your potential outcome or your desired outcome is. So that's not overthinking. As Louise and Monique commented, I don't consider that to be overthinking. I consider that to be sensible thinking. So thinking things through before you take action, but always with the idea that you're going to take action. Overthinking means you're not taking any action at all. You're spinning, you're trying to work out, what do I do next? How do I do it next? Without any, what's the word I'm looking for? Compulsion to actually take action. Nice, huh? The other aspect of overthinking is you don't know how. So you spin going, how am I going to get it to happen? How am I going to get it to happen? And that's where your spinning goes on. So while I was going through all of this, I realized that overthinking is the gateway, it's the gateway drug, if you like, to procrastination. And I have done a series on procrastination. So what I'm going to do is repost part 1 of procrastination, similar to what I did last week on overcoming self-doubt. Because again, I did rewatch those videos, and there's some tools in there that are going to help people work through their overthinking and procrastination issues. So I will repost that later today. What we're looking at generally, so just want you to get your head around this idea, okay, and tie it in for yourself with your own personal issues on overthinking. Very generally, when we're dealing with brain aspects of things, you're dealing with words. When you're dealing with heart aspect, it's generally to do with images which trigger emotion. That's how I see it. It may not be the same for everyone. And again, trying to break these topics down to a very generic instructional form can be quite difficult because I am very much more used to just tapping straight into what's going on and dealing with that on a personal level with whoever I'm working with. So overall though, words or images, they're instructions to the brain. Now, if you're not using the right words, when you're trying to work something out, your brain is either going to revert to the past or it's not going to actually understand what you're trying to achieve. And that's where the image aspect comes into it. If you can visualize what you want to achieve, then you integrate the emotional aspect of things, which then which then connects to the words, which are the logic instructional part of overcoming overthinking. What we're going to cover tomorrow is very much on how to overcome overthinking with some tips and tools that you can use. And on Friday, we're going to talk about how to actually reconnect and rebalance. Because overthinking means that you're not internally balanced. You're not in touch with what you really want, what you want to achieve, what your expected outcome is, and how you want to get there. And I don't mean the nuts and bolts of how you want to get there. I mean the kind of person that you want to be once you get to where you want to go. Hey, K-Ray. So, that is just the intro to overcoming overthinking. What you're dealing with is a disconnect from mind, body, spirit, or brain, heart, soul. And not having the correct wording or the correct imagery or emotions. You are too gorgeous, Kelly Ray, to get you to where you need to be. I am going to put another question into the group today. So if you want to contribute to that thread, that'd be great. And I will come to you tomorrow at 7:15 with some hints on how to actually break through the stagnation or the mind racing aspects of overthinking. So, hope you guys can join me then. In the meantime, have a fabulous day. Thank you, Kelly Ray, for joining me. And to anyone who's watching this on the replay, again, just comment with a, yep, I got it, or a yes, or something that you've actually seen the video. Because, again, what we're dealing with is accountability. You've got to be accountable to yourself. If you want to really get over the shit you're dealing with, be accountable. Find yourself an accountability buddy, me, this group, and become accountable to yourselves. So if you're ready to do that, post a comment saying you're in. Also, I'm going to be coming live again later on this afternoon, fingers crossed, with a little bit more information about the 4-week intensive. And I'm going to be testing out some new technology. So if you're around, I will give enough warning beforehand. If you're around and you can jump on, that would be great. Okay, have a fabulous day. So much love to you all. Bye. Ooh.